Hi, this is Beth Ann with CSC TALK RADIO. I want to talk to you about something I believe is of great importance. The nation we have now is in turmoil. The powers that be would like us to be separated. They know that if we come together in agreement, they're in big trouble. We need to stand together for liberty, for family, for God, for country, for our communities, for our states. Lately, 81 letters were sent from Congress, from the Democrat Party in particular, to 81 associates of the President of the United States, past and present. And this is in direct violation of our rights, in particular the Fourth Amendment. Maybe you don't understand the importance of this, but your rights are important. And little by little, they've been chipped away by Congress. Congress continues to legislate socialistic rules and laws. They legislate things that they don't even have to follow. It's getting serious. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is a crisis. And Congress is the crisis. So in this, I came up with an idea that it was time for we the people to stop saying we're the unforgotten, that nobody hears our voice, and to take a stand. So I put pen to paper and I wrote a cease and desist letter to Congress. I want to encourage you to do the same. You can use my letter. It's on my website, on my blog. I don't have my name to it. I didn't copyright it. It's a cease and desist letter from we the people. Copy it, paste it, print it, sign it. Send it to all of your legislators, your Congress, your senators, your House of Representatives. I suggest you send it to the 4 leaders of the House and the Senate. And then I suggest you send a copy, mark it copy, to the President of the United States with a handwritten note explaining to him what you've done and let him know who you sent it to. So here is the letter of cease and desist. To the Honorable Speaker of the House, Madam Nancy Pelosi. To the Honorable Minority Leader, Representative Kevin McCarthy. To the Honorable Senate Majority Leader, Senator Mitch McConnell. To the Honorable Senate Minority Leader, Senator Chuck Schumer. To all representatives and senators. To all of Congress. This is a letter of cease and desist from we the people, the citizens of the United States of America. Your blatant refusal of Constitution and liberty has not gone unnoticed. It has now become necessary for we the people to intervene and to remind you of your duties and your oath of office, and to the Constitution of the United States and to the people to which it belongs. We the people do now demand that the coup against this 45th President of the United States be ended forthwith. The money you spend on these fruitless and biased and unlawful investigations are funded with the hard-earned dollars of we the people, the taxpayers, the very ones who have positioned you in a seat of service to guard and to protect our liberty and our purse. We the people demand that all the plights being directed against the 45th President of the United States end. These continuing and mounting investigations serve only to politicize, intimidate, and obstruct a duly and constitutionally elected president, as well as to demean the citizens who elected him to the highest office of our land. The latest of 81 letters sent to the current and past associates of President Donald Trump has been issued to intimidate, harass, and financially break the wills and destroy the livelihoods of innocent citizens. This action is in direct violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Citizens' Bill of Rights. Cease and desist. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. We the people serve you this letter to cease and desist immediately. Let us now remind you that your duties are not to change our way of governing, but to protect our constitutional republic. Your duties are few, for which you completely ignore. National security. You have allowed the influx of illegal aliens to invade our border, jeopardizing our land and putting Americans' jobs, the U.S. economy, and the lives and homes of citizens in danger. Cease and desist. Build the wall. The U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, the United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. In the meantime, because you, the Congress, have failed to honor the Constitution and your oath, because you have ignored your responsibilities, these United States remain exposed to all the dangers of invasions from without and convulsions from within. We are neither blind nor dumb to your political games for personal gain and your direct violation of oath with pursuing a socialistic governance. All those in direct defiance of the constitutional republic should be expelled immediately. National economy. Your obligation as Congress is to operate within a balanced budget. However, you have brought this nation to an unsustainable debt, making it weak and vulnerable, unprepared for any state of emergency. Cease and desist. You continue to abuse and misappropriate the money, the purse of we the people. You continue to profit from your office while burdening we the people with higher taxation. Cease and desist. Over 100 years ago, Congress shirked its responsibility in the form of turning our economic system over to outsiders, the Federal Reserve. It is now time to undo this wrong done to our nation. Audit the Federal Reserve, and then loose the peoples from our economy from its chains. Maintain our infrastructure. While our infrastructure is cracking, you speak of a Green New Deal, which will do nothing to save a planet, but everything to enslave a once free people. Cease and desist. Protect our liberties and properties. Leading by deep state bureaucracy, you continue to allow your appointed departments of bureaucrats to mandate laws and dictate regulations, implementing fines as well as demanding licenses against our land and our beings. In this way, you are taxing we the people without true and just representation. Cease and desist. Guard individual rights and life. On the pretense of humanity and women's rights, you have legislated, approved, and even used the money of the people to perpetrate an evil, murderous act against this nation, abortion. Lending your allegiance not to the people, not to the women, but to an evil industry taking advantage of the desperate, the poor, and our minority citizens. No nation has ever survived by the genocide of its future citizens. It is a barbaric and immoral act. Endowed by our Creator, all men and women are created equal, including the human child in the womb. Cease and desist. While you deny the crisis of our borders, we the people declare that the border crisis begins with you, Congress. You have brought the drugs, the human trafficking, the sex trafficking, the gangs, the murderers, the rapists to our land for your political gain, cheap labors, and personal profit. Cease and desist. Our founding father, George Washington, once said, "The marvel of all history is the patience with which men and women submit to burdens unnecessarily laid upon them by their government." Honorable madams and sirs, we the people have now lost our patience with your misconduct, your relentless attacks on our president, the thieving of our liberty, our time, and our money, as well as your continued disregard for the rule of law, our Bill of Rights, and our Constitution. You are not our government. You are servants to we the people. who are now again laying down grievances, not unlike that of our Declaration of Independence in 1776. It is for all these reasons and more that we, the people of the United States, now serve you, Congress, with this cease and desist order. Cease the investigations and slanderous attacks against this 45th President of the United States. Cease the socialistic legislating and mandates against our land and our beings. Cease the out-of-control spending and the taking of the people's money. Cease the murdering of our unborn children. Cease the deal-making, both foreign and domestic, for your personal profit and political gains. Desist from all legislative and governing practices that are not in agreement with the U.S. Constitution and from which you are restricted according to the People's Bill of Rights. Serve the people and the Constitution of the United States in its original form and intent, or henceforth resign from the office you have been entrusted and for which you now give no honor. We, the people, petition you now with this letter of cease and desist. A Congress whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the rulers or the representatives of a free people. It is our duty to bring order and liberty back to these United States and governing back to we the people, who stand for God, for life, for liberty, and for the pursuit of happiness, property, and prosperity. Cease and desist. Congress is now served. Return to the constitutional republic. This is Beth Schoenberg, a citizen of the United States of America.